Russian agents killed 3 men they said were saboteurs sent by Ukraine. A report says they were just gamers in costume.
Here's a summary of the article.
3 men killed in a Russian Secret Service operation were gamers in costume rather than Ukrainian agents, according to a report in Russian media. The initial story of Russian FSB agents taking out Ukrainian saboteurs came under scrutiny when supposed militant gear was identified as imitation gear from the video game Stalker, the Moscow Times reported. On Wednesday evening, state news channel Russia 1 reported on an operation by the FSB in Voronezh, a city around 150 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. Per the paper, the men were mimicking the popular survival horror video game, Stalker, which is set in a fictionalized version of Ukraine's Chernobyl. The 2 men identified by the Moscow Times, which viewed what it said were their social media accounts, were Vorozhna locals Vladimir Kotovsky, and an account under the name Stalker Fozgene. The room filmed by Russia 1 also matches one that appears in a photo shared by Stalker Fozgene on social media, the paper reported. Insider viewed an account in the name of Stalker Fozgene on Russian social media site vKontakte, where the account holder appeared to be a fan of the video game.
This post received a score of 36,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
They were LARPing as members of the Freedom faction from Stalker, who were basically a bunch of pot-smoking, free-spirited anarchists kitted out in NATO gear who believe in coexisting with the zone, the Chernobyl exclusion zone with a bunch of mutants and anomalous shit, and that everyone should be free to access and make the most of it.
I feel as though running around the Russo-Ukrainian border right now during an active conflict wearing NATO gear and sporting fake weapons is probably a pretty fucking stupid thing to do. Not saying these guys should have been killed, but like, Valenti non-fit in area, man. What the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, there's a reason that Europeans driving around the world in old Land Rovers paint them in bright happy colors. You don't want to find yourself in some African country where they're still being used as military vehicles.
I'm pretty sure the British Army still use Land Rovers too, so that's not a bad idea.
Is that why the Empire collapsed? The military budget went into keeping the Land Rovers running?
It's not a starter car, it's a finisher car. Just a little water damage.
My rage knows no bounds.
You sound untethered.
I am a golden god.
Will the thunder of your vengeance echo through these corridors?
Greater than the agents, per the outlet, killed 3 active pro-Ukrainian nationalist ideology supporters, who it claimed were planning to attack energy infrastructure nearby. That is some crazy projection.
Mental gymnastics for the populace not to riot, probably.
The Russians are awfully good at that.
Which is weird because from the outside it seems like such a reach.
Abusive relationships are easier to see from the outside in.
LARPing is a capital offense. Russians just wanted the gear. Lot better than their stuff, you know.
This is really sad face. There are no Russian sources reporting on the Stalker connection. In Russia, these 3 victims of police regime will be forever remembered as traitors. Edit. Thank you to everyone who shared the Russian language reports. Hope a day comes and such professional reporting will come to Russia proper, without them fearing jail time or murder.
Which is upsetting because Russia has a huge Stalker fanbase. Between Stalker, Metro 2033 and Escape from Tarkov, they produce 3 of the largest gaming franchises from the Slav world. Stalker is made by Ukrainian developers which actually have videos out currently about how they're trying to make a game in a war zone. Even with this, their Discord has a pretty even split of Russians and Ukrainians, and they still talk and coexist with each other peacefully on there despite what is happening between the 2 nations.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.